buff composition out of the hands of Excrucio, making sure that they don't have to deal with the complexity should they pick up like anything to match up with that.
All right, it makes sense to me. Excrucio, what do they not want to deal with here? It looks like Scarf's going to be the ban.
So right now what they're doing is they're forcing out that glaive or that black feather. I think either or one of these sides will have to choose.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Excrucio quite happy to pick up that black feather right away. They clearly had a plan coming into this, but
They took out both.
yeah, I was like, well, I mean, why not? Honestly, and but when we talk about team stepping strategy, like Hammer's Velocity, this is one of the most strategical teams I think in the current competitive scene.
I know, but the thing about Hammers, like both of their competitive teams, is they've had some drafting, and especially last week and this week that I was a little bit concerned about.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. And there's your Rhyme. You were talking about Rhyme. Where is he?
I do think that Excrucio will be putting out that glaive onto a roam position, unless they don't.
Unless
like,
they decide.
Because
unless they lock in an art.
They will have a tough time with this. They're going up against triple melee composition against that Rhyme. Makes it very hard. On top of that, you're dealing with Sky right now, and I do have to favor the side of Velocity to take out this draft and win.
Yeah, no, on a purely, like, just judging the draft, I would agree with you. I think Velocity do have the advantage there for a couple different reasons.
Yeah.
I think, Rhyme great against the melee composition. Dienzio is going to be hard to lock down on that Sky, and he's a phenomenal Sky. He loves that Sky.
Yeah, I would have personally, put glaive onto a roamer and then lock somebody else up just to make sure that I have the positioning, I have that backline carry.
All right, guys. Well, let's see how it all plays out. We've loaded into our first match of the finals here for NA, and we have a couple cool guys ready to cast this game. Forecourt, Jester, and Sona. Take it away.
The coolest guy introducing the cool guys. I like how this is going, Dr. Sono, but I'm also very curious as to where this match is going, because just like what Rome said, they chose a triple melee into Rhyme who excels against triple melee. I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting draft phase, really, from Excrucio. You have to wonder what they're thinking. It's a little bit like the draft phase we saw from Velocity when they left that black feather up against TSM and lost the game. Like, you can try and mind game your opponent, but sometimes, like, the better draft's just gonna win anyway. Doesn't matter how many mind games you play.
Well, I'm glad that Rome actually did call it. They are either going to put glaive on the support or they won't, and he caught it 100%. So, good job, Rome. Hashtag Rome is right. But Dienzio on Sky, this is definitely a trade. I haven't seen this in a long while, but Aloha is also a very scary Rhyme. So, my bigger question is, will Dienzio continue to go into this weapon, or are we going to see a double crystal against double weapon?
I think it's going to be weapon Sky with the crystal Rhyme coming out. I think that makes the most sense, because then you can feel a bit of the rhythm, you can feel a bit of the Rhyme, with that crystal. It works pretty well. So also going to put some damage down to Veins, and I think Dienzio with the weapon power just makes him a little bit stronger into this Excrucio lineup.
Well, earlier on, yeah, if it is going to be a weapon power Sky, like the targeted damage is going to be absolutely fine. Maybe we're just going to leave the AoE to Rhyme, because, I mean, he's going to have a lot of it. Typically, you're going to see something like a Broken Myth into an Eve of Harvest or vice versa. At this point, could be either way. He has that energy battery, but it's going to be those items regardless.
Yeah, definitely, and we already see a little bit of countering coming out from Aloha and Veins. They're just trying to position here. Dienzio needs to be a little bit cautious, because all of Excrucio are around this lane waiting to see if they can catch him out, and he knows that. Like, he's positioning up towards the top side of the lane, so we'll just be a bit safer. I wonder where those stairs go. You ever thought about that? I wonder if there's like a little spa or something for the heroes.
Honestly, I have not. But there is a nice double rainbow, or at least used to be. Yep, totally double rainbow if you look into the distance, so that's a pretty nice shout out. Knowing where all of Excrucio is, though, has given a lot of courage here to Halcyon Hammer's Velocity. You can see they're into the backs, and Excrucio is just not looking to invade. So they're going to come back to a jungle that is empty, and because it's empty, they're probably going to come up to Dienzio, who's just going to be happy to turtle once more, and if they do this a few times, well, Excrucio's definitely going to be in some trouble.
Yeah, definitely. I think after the first mistake, they'll realize what happened and try and play it a little bit smarter this time. I mean, they've got I Love Joseph on that jungle glaive. He's really strong on that, so he won't be too wary about fighting up against Velocity. And actually, we see them trying to put some counter pressure down
Oh.
do try and jump in and get that.
Joseph did take that.
Farm away.
He did
Yeah,
steal it.
nice little bit of farm. Yeah.
Oh,
And
School's
Old School's going to come down as well. Vane's not in the best of positions, but there comes the stunner. Now Old School very, very low. Has to try and retreat away from here. Vane's going to try and put the pressure back on. Dienzo has joined the fray as well, but they will just back away. That Rhyme, you saw the Winter Spire there, can do a huge amount of damage.
And that's why Rhyme definitely excels more at the melee situations, because if you can't actually get away from him because he's always constantly slowing you, well, you're going to have a bad time. And those Winter Spires, the Chilling Winds, and of course the Valkyrie a little bit later on, it does set up very nicely, especially for Dienzio. So he is going to be weapon, which means he is going to be targeting down, so you're going to probably see Vane's Dienzio try to target down. Well, I have to assume it's going to be Glaive at this point. Old School is going to have that infinite escape with the Rose Offensives, and he's going to be probably building a little bit tankier as well. But I Love Joseph, they actually have quite a bit of magic resist already, crystal resist, shield, there we go, that's the word, across the board for Excrucio.
Already built a couple of those light shields, so going to keep themselves a little bit tankier into this lineup, but I still think the Rhyme works really well. Like, I think having the split damage with the weapon power Sky works strongly into this team, especially since they're trying to build a bit of that shield early on, but Excrucio, I feel, are going to fall off in this game pretty darn rapidly as soon as we start seeing more skirmishy team fights.
Well, I know you weren't here yesterday, but I'll give you a little bit of history lesson. Excrucio yesterday was kind of in a similar situation where they were facing against like some overwhelming firepower, but all they did was build defensive. By about the 10, well, maybe not 10, but 12 to 15 minute mark, they were nigh unkillable. There could be a very similar situation here. If they are going to continue to build out Light Shield as they are, Aloha's going to become a null factor. That just leaves Dienzio, and if they can jump Dienzio, who's not going defensive at all, they might actually be able to turn these around.
Well, then the question is, can Velocity adapt to that and react to it? If you have Dienzio start building a little bit defensive himself, it doesn't matter how defensive you are if you can't kill anyone on the enemy team. Like, it's just going to be a stalemate for a while. And Aloha now getting caught out a little bit by Excrucio, but Dienzio has joined the fray, and as you say, they've got all that light armor, but they haven't got the light shield, so they haven't got any armor to face up against Dienzio yet. And he's going to dodge around. Sure strikes around to the side, and Baines goes low as well, but he's going to get onto Old School. Old School should go down here. He does jump back in. It's a 1-for-1. That's a good trade for Excrucio because it means I Love Joseph and Ezadox should be able to get away from this one. Actually, Ezadox jumps back onto Vanes just to slow him up, and I Love Joseph trying to stop Vanes from doing much. Actually split up the Velocity lineup here and will stun Vanes up into the wall. That's a good little fight for Excrucio. They pick up another kill. Now Aloha needs to be a bit careful because Old School is going to join the fray in just a second. Hasn't got 6, hasn't got the Rose Offensive, and Aloha does have 6, so he's going to have that Valkyrie up for himself if he wants it. He will go down here, even with the Chill Winds not able to survive through that.
Well, Aloha had actually used the Valkyrie already, and again, like, with the triple melee, like, a lot of people will say, oh, this is a Rhyme game, why would you do that, blah, 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 but this is 117. We changed how Rhyme works a little bit, so he's not quite that overwhelming juggernaut when it comes to these situations, and as you saw here, even with that 3v3 and a 3-man Valkyrie in the previous fight, Excrucio didn't go down.
And Baines will go down, yeah.
That's what I mean about the tankability, though. If they can remove the threat of Aloha, who's not nearly as powerful as the 116 version of himself, then all they have to do is worry about Dienzio. And if they can take down Dienzio, they can easily Zerg down Aloha. You can juggle out his damage if you can actually negate enough of it. And that seems to be, so far, a growing trend here with Excrucio.
If they can do it again today, then I will eat my words.
It worked yesterday.
You can't make me do, which is amazing.
They 2-0'd yesterday with a very similar strategy against a Rhyme.
But so, 2-0 isn't enough. They have to 3-0.
In a best of 3 it is.
It's not enough here. It's the best of 5 forecourt.
Yeah, but so if you 2-0 a Rhyme comp, there's very little chance that the third game will be a Rhyme comp.
You never know.
Yeah, you're true. Yeah, I mean, mind games. So 7.5 minutes
could be an
gold
interesting
mine.
Rhyme scheme.
Rhyme and reason out the window, right?
Exactly.
Yep, and that's a Rhyme pun right there.
Yeah.
4 kills.
Well done, man. Well done.
A little bit of an altercation. These guys are just like they don't seem to know what they want to do, Sona.
Well, they're going to pop down the gauntlet is what they're going to do, and they're going to try and fight. Ezadox takes a lot of damage. Vanes does go down as the first kill. Now Aloha, the target. Dienzio off towards the side, trying to kite back, but he can't kite for long as he gets taken out as well. Aloha manages to escape off towards his turret, but Excrucio will take that every day of the week. They're going to get the gold mine. 8 minutes in, they're going to push themselves to about a 4,000 gold lead. They are in a beautiful position right now.
So Ezadok has himself the Stormguard banner and now an Oak Heart, so you're probably going to be seeing that Warhorn. And Warhorn has a Dragon Heart, there it is. So he's starting to tank up a little bit. Plus he's, you know, Arden. Arden's a little bit harder to kill than most. I Love Joseph, double Light Shield, worked out great there up against those Rhyme comps. And now Old School with that Light Shield and a Coat of Plates. He's tanking up. This is what these guys do. If they can tank up, it's not going to matter what kind of damage you're going to do. And Dienzio is going to be kind of left in the wind and Zerg down. And that so far, again, is happening. 2,500 gold has been accrued in almost 9 minutes. And if there's nothing that Velocity can do, then by the 15-minute mark, I don't think they're going to take another kill.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see. Guessed us wrong.
Dienzio, that was the wrong way, sir.
Man, like, sometimes you have to forward barrage backwards just to confuse your muscles.
Yeah, but you need some your muscles. I thought you were gonna say your opponent. Like, you need an opponent to confuse if you're gonna do that. Your muscles.
Exactly.
That doctor talk right there.
Yeah, you know, that's how you get gains, man.
By confusing your muscles.
Exactly.
Why are you hurting me? I don't know. Infusion's coming out though. Glaive having that infusion with that Sorrow Blade, that could be a pretty big spike in damage, and that
That's
could be
huge.
disastrous because Dienzio again. Okay, he's finally gotten to that reflex, but past that, there's nothing to stop armor coming into him.
What are you going to fight over here, though, if you're Excrucio? When you get infusions, you want to have an objective or something you can force a fight around so that you can pop those infusions and have that big power spike that gets you like ahead and over the other team. Right now, there's nothing really to fight over. That gold miner isn't big enough. Perhaps you could try and steal a minion mine away, but I really don't think Excrucio will be trying to pop that infusion yet. You want to wait for a little bit more. Perhaps around the 12-minute mark and then go for the gold miner. Even 11 minutes, really. Go for the gold miner and try and force a fight out here from Velocity.
Honestly, I don't think it would really matter. Excrucio, like, he is going to hold on to it, which is totally fine. But he's going to pop it as soon as we see a fight. It doesn't matter what is up. He's going to pop it. They're going to get that fight. Then they'll evaluate. My bet would be if they can maneuver into a position, it'll be for this turret. If they can get a kill right here, they can take a turret.
I'm waiting for it.
Well, yes,
with
obviously,
bated
there has
breath.
to be the good situation to do it. Having a 3v3 with all these creeps, especially the bigger ones there for Velocity, it's not going to happen here. So you might get your 12-minute mark wish. What's with you, the 12-minute mark? Like, you always
I love the 12-minute mark. It's the best minute. You know, like it's perfectly placed between 10 minutes, which is too short, and 15 minutes, which is just a little bit too long.
Why not 12 and a half minutes? That's dead even.
Well, because then you're not being, you know, it's not well positioned.
And speaking of
He
positioning,
wants to deal in half minutes. Yeah. Speaking of positioning, Aloha's gonna die here, man.
Yeah,
Not
so
well
the
positioned.
3v1,
Valkyrie
like,
does come out.
this is supposed to be his heyday right here. 3v1, all melee. Let's do it. No, it's just not the same. The same meta does not exist. Now, he has bought enough time for a turret, or at least that's what Dienzio was hoping with that weapon Sky.
Don't get the turret out of it, though,
Yeah.
because Excrucio are gonna close in on
Gauntlet?
Dienzio here.
Gauntlet?
Yeah. No.
I'm not going to do it. Did you not have it?
Don't even need a gauntlet. Don't even need it.
Well, Dienzio has a reflex block, so he would have been able to go right through it anyways.
Yeah, the positioning wasn't perfect. You have to really catch it right on the edge if you're gonna try and gauntlet before someone can reflex block it out. But
Still, that turret is not
Excrucio's
looking
gonna get the
healthy
gold
anymore.
mine, mate. 12-minute gold mine. What I called.
Nope, 11:58.
Oh. Yeah.
Immense gold payout.
I hate you so much.
You're welcome. Immense gold payout means more cash into the pockets here for Excrucio, and Velocity and Career, 1 kill to their name in 12 minutes is not boding well for them. This rhyme pick, Rome was talking about it a lot. Like, where's the rhymes? Where's the rhymes? The rhyme didn't work yesterday. Everything was a 2-0. So far, it doesn't look like it's working today either.
Nah, it's definitely not. When you got Kinetic Shield and Light Shield already on I Love Joseph, he did pop that infusion. Actually, I think he might have sold the infusion.
It's definitely not there
pick up.
anymore, is it?
Yeah, and it's not been 2.5 minutes since I last checked, so I'm pretty sure he sold his infusion. Perhaps expecting a fight that didn't really pay out. So
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Now going to try and force this turret down in the lane.
Now, there's no sign of where Rhyme is. We don't actually have any scout traps out and about for vision, but still, you can see we're trying to keep Velocity pinned. They have a lot of doubts trying to venture out into the world, and rightly so, because when they're down 6 kills and 4,000 gold, that situation can become very hairy for them. So, the good news is that Dienzio and crew, like, they're not exactly unused to this kind of thing. They've been pinned up before. They have actually, I've seen them come back from a 21-1 kill deficit, 10,000 gold down. All you got to do is just put all your farm on Dienzio, and usually things will work out. I'm not feeling that here, but Dienzio and crew, I mean, that's going to be the strategy that they're going to go for here.
Yeah, you just gotta TSM it, mate. Gotta wait for that Kraken to spawn and then buy her some flowers. It's Mother's Day after all, you know.
Happy Mother's Day to any mothers watching. You guys, you're doing good work out there, moms.
Doing the Lord's work.
I didn't want to go that far.
Okay.
That's me.
Just
Dienzio
'cause
and Vayne are,
Yeah.
you know, they must have, you know, rather superior mothers. Because Dienzio, actually, I think he had his parents at the... Cole the Meek's parents were definitely at the NA finals. I got to meet and talk to them, so shout out to Cole's mother. Happy Mother's Day to her. Could have said that during
That's,
the TSM game.
I mean, that's a little bit selective, though, isn't it? You know,
Well,
I feel we
I
have to say
meant-
Happy Mother's Day to everyone's mothers.
I did. I led off with that.
Okay.
Come on, Stone. I know it's late in EU, but keep up there.
Hey, it's early here now. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. And speaking of morning, Dienzio's mother might be in mourning soon because looks like her son's going to go down. Actually survives for just a moment. They do get the kill onto Dienzio, and they will retreat away from that turret.
You know, I heard the game laughing at your joke. That's how funny that joke was. Who was actually laughing there? I mean, Dienzio died. He's the only female character here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Goldmine's going to go down, then there's going to be a Kraken, and the game has really kind of, you know, started to hit that point of no return. Excrucio is just absolutely on fire today. Not only getting a 2-0 earlier and a 2-0 yesterday, but now they're going to be looking good here at game 1 of this best of 5.
They're looking superb actually at the moment. Like 8 kills to 1 up. Although we've seen bigger leads turned, Kraken has
TSM.
just spawned. Well, yes, TSM. Kraken has just spawned, and Excrucio have the opportunity to try and position around it, get some scout traps down, which they've already placed, and just watch out to see if Velocity go for anything around here.
Well, it's not going to be the immediate Kraken.
No.
Crucio just pick up a little bit of extra farm. There's those infusions. So Joseph is now ready to go. He has both those level 12s. And Old School doesn't... Oh, he's just a shy short. Oh, no, he's able to pick up both. Okay, cool. So we got 4 infusions ready to go. Nothing for Ezidox. Not that he really needs it, but... I mean, this is where you kind of capitalize. You're looking for that fight? Well, this would be the time.
Start the Kraken up and see what Velocity do. Vaynes is going to try and position off towards the side. Does pop that flare out, won't spot anything. The Kraken's going to go down.
Yep, for
And
free.
you want to know what the main problem for Velocity is now? They're Kraken lacking, mate.
Kraken lacking. Alright, I get it. Release the Kraken. There's no Finn here, though, so it's less piratey. So...
I don't understand how you
Forced
think Finn is
Accord,
piracy.
Accord. Do we have an Accord? Captain Barbosa.
Yeah, I'm
Pirates
sure
of
at
the
some
Caribbean.
point in Pirates of the Caribbean they say forced as well.
No, they
like-
don't. It's just the word Accord.
Oh, just Accord, just the whole thing is just Orlando Bloom saying Accord.
No,
time
it's
after
Captain
time.
Barbosa.
Okay.
You've not seen the movie.
I have seen the movie, but like just associating one word with the movie doesn't make much sense. And the word I'm going to associate with this game is Excrucio, because it's an excruciatingly slow loss for Velocity. Like this Kraken's just pushing. This is going to be the 3rd turret under it, and the death from above does come down. They're going to try and start the fight, but the Kraken's still pushing in, and they pop the gauntlet to escape. They do pick up 3 turrets from that, so they'll easily trade that for the Kraken gold, and they're going to take away the jungle of Velocity.
900 gold to a 1500 gold turnaround. That's, I mean, yes, the turrets are missing, but Halcyon Hammers do pick up, actually, I think, the better of the gold between them. So, 1 kill to 8. They are still turtling. They're still in this. They have held up against the advances of the Kraken, and that was a heck of a lot of items. Like, if we thought that it was hard to kill Excrucio before, they just finished off a whole bunch of tier 3s. I mean, did I not say past the 15-minute mark they're not getting a kill?
Yes, you did. Yes,
I'm
you did.
reinforcing that point. They are not getting a kill.
Okay.
They have tanked up, and Excrucio's strategy will once again, well, so far, they're doing them well. I just don't think there's enough burst to kind of punch through that here from Halcyon Hammers. They're just too starved.
It's true. I mean, you have to look at it and think that Excrucio are in a great position. They're doing a superb job of winning out these team fights. They won out the early game. They're going to win out the late game. And we've seen this time and time again, this tournament, that once a team starts taking advantage, because all of these teams play at such a high level, it's very difficult to get back into the game.
Unless you're TSM.
Unless you're TSM, yes.
Yeah. No, that game is just That's a highlight reel on that one. So, just camping out here in the jungle, just depriving everything from velocity. If they push up their creep wave, well, they're going to be deprived farm. If the creep wave pushes in, then there's no map presence. And this is just, again, like, it's a slow moving noose over the neck here. Excrucio is tightening it minute by minute, and at this rate, I mean, Kraken's going to be coming up here about 19-minute mark or so, pushed down. You're looking at about a 21-minute game if everything goes according to that plan. Halcyon Hammer's got to take a risk and try to get something done. Otherwise, their doom is basically sealed.
Wait, is this the longest game we've seen this tournament, actually, if it gets to 20 minutes? Because yesterday the longest was about 18 minutes. So...
Yep, 18-19 is about the longest, I believe, that we've clocked this weekend. It's the second
the longest game we have.
18:55 was off by 5 seconds. I do apologize. I know you're a timely man, Sona.
I am a timely man. Especially since you got me with that...
11:58.
Yeah, 11:50.
Yeah.
Oh, so painful.
I'm going to bring up 12 minutes. I'm going to counter it every time. So still, here's the 19-minute mark Kraken. We are going to be probably trying to get as much infusions as we can. There's going to be a fight. Excrucio very likely to win it. Kraken end game. 21 minutes is my bet.
21 minutes exactly.
Oh no.
Here comes the fight. Dienzio gets taken out. It might be less than 21 minutes because it looks like Excrucio had this fight all the way locked up. Veins is going to get down as well, and it's only a lower left. You've got 4 melees. Rhyme, what can he do? Is there any reason to this velocity comp? No.
Man,
No,
that afterburn was just ridiculous. I do agree, game. And now they're just going to chase this down. You're right. It's not even going to be a 21-minute game. Jester, why are you so good at this game, bro? Excrucio, why are you so good at this game, bro?
Wrong.
Hey, 21 minutes or less. All right.
Or less. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't realize we were adding modifiers to it. Where it's going to be 11 kills to 1. It's going to be a 20-minute and 10-second game. And as I said, the Vein Crystal explodes. A great play by Excrucio. Secured it basically at minute 3. And just played superbly well throughout the entire game.
It's a proven strategy this week. And Excrucio can see overwhelming amounts of damage. Doesn't matter what comp they're against. They tank up. They don't drop any more kills past a certain point. And then they starve out their opponents and win. Tried and true. And now they're up 1-0 in this finals. And Excrucio is poised. If they can continue doing this again and again, they are poised to take a first seed finish here in the second qualifiers, coming in with, well, they had a sponsor, but now no sponsor. Probably looking for sponsors. If you're a scout out there, guys, you got to be looking very close at Old School, I Love Joseph, and Ezidox. And Rome said it. I Love Joseph has been in this position many times. This could be the team of his dreams that he's been waiting for.
Look at the gold funnel onto Old School as well. Like 212 CS, he had 12,000 gold at the end of that game.
The highest today.
That is absolutely huge.
Highest,
Full
I think,
build.
in this
He
tournament.
probably had gold to spare, like
Yep, no, that's
by
definitely a good
all
way
the
to put it.
elixirs.
So, just nothing Aloha could have done. Dienzio got Zerg down. Rinse, repeat. Game 1 in the bag. We're going to set up here for game 2. We're going to reset our clocks here on break.
Oh my goodness, Excrucio absolutely just running over